Hi, how are you? This is JilliBling. Today's project is all about this stamp set. So this stamp set came out in September and I bought it just for the flower. I do like the word hello. The other ones I think are more for scrapbookers, even though I did use thankful for like a fall type card. But what do you think? It's kind of bright, huh? Kind of pretty. And also the stamp set simply said for the different greetings. And you are remarkable. I love the stamp set. It's two-step stamping where you stamp the outline in any color. And then over the top, you color in the flower, the center, and the stem, the leaves. And then I like how the words are stacked like this. So this one here I think is perfect for the inside of this card. Friends are like flowers in the garden of life, which is so true. Friends are so important. I think there's another card I did using this set. Just a little square card. So that's what's on the inside here. So there's that. Isn't that perfect? So I want to use all the same stamps today, but just a little bit of a different version. This one is more because of the green designer paper. I want to do one today with orange type designer paper. We'll also use stylish shapes for the word banner. Okay. So, because it's going to have the orange base, I want to use the new In Color Flat Pearls. Fun. And this is Timid Tiger that I'll be using. These gems, the holographic resin dots were used for the sample. And look how perfectly they go. I didn't mean for it to be that perfect, but I love how it turned out because they definitely pick up the green color. But off to the side, I think they pick up the neutrals just fine, kind of a blue and a little bit of the orange. I love how those turned out. And I'm sure that the flat pearls are going to be awesome today too. The color chart. I'll show you about the color chart. I use the color chart probably on every project. Oh, and if off to the side you've seen these, can you see this? Yeah. And you're like, what is that? Well, it's bling, of course. And then this one has bling attached to it. But I've had this chart and my markers chart, I've had them sitting up against the wall over here. I've had them sitting next to my paper cutter, and it just starts rolling and it kind of gets in the way. So when I got the new glass mat, I thought, well, I'm just going to tuck them underneath, which is what I did. And I had washi tape on them. The washi tape kept coming off. After a little while, it started looking kind of yucky. So I thought, well, I've got this bling. This works out just fine. So now you know my secret right under here. Yeah. So we'll use this in a minute. There's a sample. This is for today's project. So the wood grain paper, Timid Tiger designer paper, and crumb cake, and of course white. We'll be using Country Woods, and this is on the last chance list. I'm hoping it's not gone already because I love this paper. I should get a whole bunch. I like it that much. It's just nice because it's kind of neutral. Okay, here we go. So to start out, I'm going to stamp in Memento 2 flowers because there's 2 flowers. There are flowers on the inside, or a flower, but that's just stamped directly onto the white cardstock. One, 2. And unfortunately, this has to be fussy cut. Of course, I've already done it, but that's what happens when you buy a standalone stamp set. So let's start building this card. These pieces, crumb cake. Crumb cake is my go-to color. When in doubt, crumb cake. If you don't like something, put it with blue, then I love it. And I want to do this one at this angle. See how that goes. That's the plan. And this side. This time I want to use the darker side. And I think it's going to work out fine. But we'll see. Don't you just love the versatility of designer paper? Sometimes it's good. Other times it's like, oh, but I like both sides. What am I to do? Timid Tiger. And if you look at this card, you might think I like orange colors. I pretend that I do, but really I prefer cool colors, the blues and the greens and the purples. But I try really hard to like warm colors. I like these. I like the Poppy Parade and the peach. What is it? Poppy Parade, peach, dark, crumb cake for the center, and mossy dark and olive, light and dark. That's how I colored that one. Today I'm going to color it purple. I'm going to color it Blackberry Bliss dark and Highland Heather light and dark. Okay, so I'm going to put this right in the middle. Okay, and we will work on, well, you know what? I have the stamp out. I have a plan for this. We'll see how it goes. The plan is to put flowers at the bottom and some leaves, because I think the leaves accentuate it nicely. So I know I'll put this one a little bit high, just so you could see the flower, the full flower. And this one a little lower. And it's looking a little kind of naked over there, so I'll put some leaves, just leaves. Okay, that looks good. So on the inside of this project, see how I have a little bit of the wood grain paper? I want to do the same with this card. So if I take this and put it here, that means I don't need to stamp that area. I could stamp underneath it, but whatever's underneath it, no need to color it. So this one I'm going to stamp just partial, because this one is going to be like the focus. Okay, but then I think it needs maybe just a little something up here. So I'm looking at there's flowers on this side. I'm going to try to get these leaves. Might look a little bit ugly, but once you put this over, see, that looks good. Okay, I'm just going to leave it at that. Oh, I'm going to do the words. The friends are flowers in the garden of life. Friends are flowers in the garden of life. Very, very nice. And because there's like a little divot right here, I'm going to put it off to the side. Pretend like I planned that. Yay! Okay. So you're probably like, you have a lot of coloring to do, but I'm going to make it easy by taking this and changing it for that. What do you think about the purples? And see how you could just see that one little flower? So we could color this one together. So the colors are Blackberry Bliss. And I'll hold it up and do it. Blackberry Bliss dark. So see if you could see that. Not that it's all that tricky, but whenever I do coloring, people usually say, thanks for doing that little tutorial. So I'm hoping that you're not tired of coloring. I love the effect, the look of coloring. So I'm going to do just a few leaves, and this are petals. And I think that this is where the petal is coming out from the center of the flower. Therefore, it's darker. Okay, so that's Blackberry Bliss dark. And I'm doing only 3 petals, hoping that it stays a little bit wet so that when it comes to blending, it blends a little bit easier. If it's completely dry, you really have to work it to get it to blend. Okay, so I'm going up just a little bit higher than the Blackberry Bliss, and then I'm going back over that seam between the two colors. Okay, and now the last color, Highland Heather Light, is kind of like the wow factor. So it's going to fill in the rest of the petal, and then I'll tap it a few times or run over that seam between Highland Heather Light and Highland Heather Dark to make it look blended. Then after I get done with these three, I'm going to set the paper down on my tabletop and I'll get to coloring it a little bit faster. Same exact process. Okay, so that's the purple leaves, and I'll come back, hold it up close, and do the flower center, and then also the leaves. Leaves are kind of fun. I have them in unique colors. I have the leaves in crumb cake and soft sea foam. I was trying to somewhat match the paper to the leaves. And the idea came from, there's some designer paper. I know it's Charming Day is the bundle, but the paper that goes with it, I think it's called Floral Charm. They have flowers on that paper and the leaves are brown. But it looks really good. Don't be thinking that they're dead or anything, because they look so good. So that's what gave me the idea. Well, let me try some kind of unique colors. I think it works out good for this card. So Tony's on another bus trip. He'll come in at like 11 tonight. He's been gone a lot. I tease him. I said, you must have a girlfriend or something. He says, you see that I get paid for it. Doesn't get paid much, but yeah. Okay. So, Blackberry Bliss. I don't want to do too much. Otherwise, it'll be challenging to blend it. Highland Heather. Hold on. Tickle. Highland Heather Light. I don't want winter here. I want summer for forever. Guess I need to move to Arizona, huh? Let me see if my little magic Listerine Cool Mint. I'm gonna have fresh breath. But that always makes the tickle go away. Always. Better than a cough drop. Okay, let's finish this up. So, sometimes it's hard to tell. Like, what direction is that petal coming from? I think this part right here comes from the bud. before Tony left today, he made some stew in the crock pot. This house still smells so good. I think he made the stew, and it's like chunks of beef, and I'm like, gosh, we don't eat much beef at all. But my labs a few months ago were off. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I think I need iron or something. And it turned out, and they were kind of really off, and they've never been like that. It turned out that I need vitamin B12. Oh my gosh, what a difference. But I think he's still thinking she needs iron. Because a few times, even last night, he says, so what do you think about prime rib? And you know, if he's asking, it's because we don't eat much of that. And I said, well, it's okay. He says, Friday night, date night, I'm going to make reservations. We need to go to this place. I'm like, oh, okay. You know, boys, I shouldn't say all of them, but I mentioned to him, it's not iron. It's, because I found out it's B12, but he still thinks it's iron. He's like, you should eat some liver. I'm like, I'm not eating liver. He likes liverwurst. I used to be able to tolerate just a little bit of it, but lately, Okay, so I probably should have held this up. I did the center in pecan pie, thinking that the card has the timid tiger in it. When I had it just in pecan pie, it's like there's no connection with the card and the purples and the green-brown leaves, but there's no connection to timid tiger. So then I went back through and I put, because you know, when you're coloring with the blends, one color, any color, can replace another color. Even if it's a darker color, you could put a lighter color over the top and you could replace it. So I had pecan pie only in there, and I went through with pumpkin pie dark, and I just put a few dots in the center, and I think that really brings it together. Do you see the pumpkin pie in there? This is one fancy flower. Okay, now the two little leaves. I'm going to use 3 colors, Crumb Cake Dark, Crumb Cake Light, and Soft Sea Foam Dark. So I'll do the center. 2 layers of color. This is Crumb Cake Dark. Okay, next is Crumb Cake Light. So some of these leaves are a little bit interesting. It's like I have to, there's no line art to tell me where the bottom of the leaf is in some spots, which is fine. I know that's part of the art, but that means that I have to kind of, on both of these, I kind of have to fudge it. And I'll put pictures on my blog, which is JilliBling.com. It's right here. So if you're doing this and you're coloring it, it's like, okay, I'm coloring that leaf. I know you were talking about it. And not that I did it right, but if you do it the way I did it, you don't have to think about it any further. And then just a hint of soft sea foam on the edge. And because the soft sea foam is so light and soft, it just kind of blends in without taking time to blend it, just because it's so light. Okay, that's it. That's all that's to it. Okay. Our die. Oh, we have to stamp the words. I have the words ready to roll. Stamped it on white paper, cut it out using this die from Stylish Shapes. Okay, so here's this and this. This is inside. The inside is done. Let's stick this piece on first because I'll have to trim it. It's the same size as the Timid Tiger paper, but I want it to be the same size as the white paper. Because sometimes I'm fancy like that. Get down there. There it is. Okay. Little snips. Is there any hanging? There's a little bit hanging. Just a little bit. Tiny little bit. Okay, now this can be stuck onto the Timid Tiger liner. Because you know, we don't do cards cheap. There's a layer and a layer and a layer. Have you ever seen someone that does nothing on the inside of their card? Like not even white paper? Like, it's like, oh, you could write on that. And they leave it just like that. It's like, well, I'm embarrassed to admit that I went through some of my old cards and some of mine on the inside. They're not that good on the outside. And on the inside, it's navy or it's black. I'm like, if it was someone else, I'd be saying, what are you thinking? But I did it. And I know what I was thinking. I'm like, well, just go and buy a gel pen. Oh my gosh. Look at that. Isn't that stunning? Okay, so for the front, oh, this is all stuck together. Okay, I have a plan. I have a picture sitting here. And aren't you happy I already did these? And you know how to do it. So this is going to go right about here. This will go like that out of the center. This is the thought. I haven't made it yet. This one will be a little bit higher. See, I colored those leaves. I don't want them to hide. But see, just like that. What do you think? I think that this, I like the difference in height, but I think the hello needs to go down a little bit. Ooh, that one's coming wet. Right there. Okay, how's that? I think that fits better. Okay, and then I want to add some linen thread. So on the sample, I just did looped around my fingers, put it into a figure 8, and let the ends hang out. I think that looks good. I don't know how it would look here. I think the only other alternate would be if I had bows on each of the flowers. I don't know, I think having the loop, where should the loop be? I think maybe midpoint. Okay. So, how about a baby dimensional to hold the words in place, just one. And I think it was centered, just a little bit showing on there. Okay. Then a baby dimensional, I had this stem coming from right here. And I was cringing because I was covering up those leaves. I'm just going to put one there just to hold it. Okay, 2 of them. It's hard covering up beautiful colored leaves. Okay, back to where we were. The stem. How is that? Well, the dimensional is showing. just like that. Okay, this one is covered up. Okay, how is that? I think the angle, it needs to go in a little bit more. Oh, but then that's not there. Okay, I'm just gonna go with how it was initially, just like that. Okay, these kind of look like peony. That's my favorite flower. Okay, so now that these know where they're going, how they're now one, I'm going to put some dimensionals on the back of the flowers and then the linen thread. Okay, plenty of dimensionals. I sound like Warren. That's what he does. He goes through the house crawling. I wonder if he does that because we talk to him. We're like, well, what do you think of that? Huh? I don't know why he does that. And he does it all the time. He's playing in the other room in his play yard by himself. And the whole time he's going, and talking. Baby talk. Blah, 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 blah. Guess because we've always talked to him. He's a product of his environment. He had a little baby kind of tantrum. And it was his first one. And it was right before Michaela came. And then he did it a few times. And I said, oh, Michaela, you just let me know how to handle that. I'm not quite sure. And I love, for that reason, being a grandma, because she gets to tell me how to handle it. I said, have you seen anything like that before? She goes, no. I don't even know what it was about. It was about nothing, because he was eating food. Yeah. Okay, so linen thread, give it a twist. So now it's in a figure 8. And where do I want it to stick out? Thinking, oh, I think I have to do it bigger. Huh. Okay, I'll try to make it bigger. Too bad that I already cut it, huh? Well, that isn't any bigger. I make it as big as my hand goes big. Okay, and then twist. And I want it sticking up right here. Midpoint. Yeah, like that. And of course you can always adjust it. After you get it on here and into the dimensionals, you can adjust it however, or put more glue dots on it. Since Tony isn't here, the TV is going to channels that the TV doesn't know how to go to. Or it just stayed on news and it's doing things that Tony wants no part of. Like Entertainment Tonight, he just doesn't have time for that. Or Family Feud, no, he's not watching that. It's like, I kind of like Family Feud. Okay, it's kind of natural looking. So, midpoint. Okay, and I know that this is a little off because there's a dimensional right there. It's pushing it. That one will get glue. Okay. That's pretty. Sometimes I make things and it's like, that didn't come from me. I like the purple flowers, but I'm using Timid Tiger and orange. The leaves are very interesting. I like them and all. Okay, one more dimensional under the label. And then it's time to embellish. Then we're done. What if my words are crooked? They're just a little crooked. Can I do this? Okay, there, just stay right there. If I glue this, then it'll stay, right? Okay. What do you think? I like the linen thread with it. I think it makes it look a little natural. That piece just isn't there. That's better. I want the linen thread to be that figure 8 under there. And because I was pulling it so that this end would show, I disrupted the figure 8. So with the glue there, it's going to dry there. It'll stay just like that. Okay, bling, 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 bling. Timid Tiger bling. See these holographic resin dots, that would work well too because there's the soft seafoam in there. But because it works so beautifully on here, that one gets to keep those. Timid Tiger is going to go, well, we'll see. Because I'm thinking the Timid Tiger, it's going to blend in too much. Yeah. So if I put the Timid, see, it's a little bit too matchy. New plan. I'm thinking I know that these would work. I should be doing a live, then you all could chime in. See, I don't know. Oh, there's the purple fine shimmer dots. Let me find those. This is how you store your embellishments, right? In a clear tote, kind of labeled. Purple should be under pearls. Purple. Pearls. Oh, I have a lot of pearls. These are old. No, those will get lost. Here's purple fine shimmer dots. I have some that are open. Nope. And that's what it needs. So which ones? See, any of them would go because these are kind of razzleberry. These are heather and those are heather light or freesia. I'm going to go with these. 3 of them. Oh, that's the answer. 1, 2, oops, 1, 2, Sometimes my luck just ain't there. Why is it not working? Okay, it's not gonna stop me. I have a plan. 1, 2, and 3. And then the gem goes upside down in the glue. Oh my gosh. Okay, after this, I'm gonna go and do something other than Stampin'. I've been waiting all day for this. Baby Warren was here and I was his everything. Okay, so there we go. Do you like, see, they're just very different. This to me feels very fall. This to me is almost spring, but because of the Poppy Parade and Peach Pie, that sounds really good, flowers, it's a little bit fall-like. So which one do you like? This one, I like it at the bottom. This one is okay, but the purple one, yeah. Okay, that's it for today's project. I'd love to know which one you like best. Okay, thanks for watching. Bye.